All right guys, today we're gonna be putting together the Better Body Functional Trainer 2.0. This is a very nice cable stack. We've been working on ourselves for about 3 years, so we're really excited for you to open it up, put it together and enjoy it and make those gains. Assembly, you will need 2 people. It's not too bad, to be honest. Most of it is just unpackaging everything from the bubble wrap. That takes a bit of time. Other than that, assembly is pretty straightforward. That's kind of how we designed it, so you're gonna have the least resistance putting it together and you can just enjoy it faster. Anyways, we're gonna get to it, so yeah, enjoy. All right guys, so if you're new to using these crates, opening them up, it's pretty straightforward. You just wanna grab a hammer and just get this piece here with the backside, of course, and just tilt it up. And then I just kind of like to hit it up. Then you just rinse and repeat for all of these. And then once you're done, you'll just be able to lift it up. So we'll fast forward through this. On another note, guys, we do have tools like this crowbar. It makes it a lot easier versus just this hammer, this tiny little hammer. But use the tools you may have around your house versus like a 3-foot long crowbar. It's probably not common for everyone. Anyway, so if you have one of these, it's gonna make it a lot easier, but you can just do it with a tiny little hammer to get everything undone. All right guys, so we got all our pieces here minus the weight stacks. I just haven't taken them out the box yet because they're super heavy and you kind of put them on at the close to the end anyways. So when you continue to do so, unwrapping everything, this is kind of the most painful part. Be really careful when you're unwrapping stuff using a knife or anything like that. You're not gonna scratch any of the actual pieces. So just be really light when you're using your knife to open up everything. Just take it really slow just so you can have no scratches on your brand new functional trainer. So everything is unpacked and you're gonna notice what's great about this is the hardware is already all in place for these. There's no extra hardware in bags or anything like that. It's already fixed. You just loosen it to put everything together and it's as easy as that. First step, now that we're actually into the assembly, is we're gonna grab our hardware out from both these sides here. And we're basically gonna get our partner, who's gonna come in a sec, and position the uprights in a way where we can affix the bottom cross piece to hold the 2 columns together. And that way it'll make it a lot easier to have our base kind of done. And then you really don't need a partner to get to the pull-up bar afterwards if you're short on people to help you. All right guys, so as we're placing this together, you'll see that we have the flywheels here on the inside and the handle that adjusts them on the outside of the unit. As you can see, we have everything in place. We have the first bottom cross piece in place and I have it in loose on one side, and the other side we're gonna make sure that this column shapes the other one. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna crank this one with a drill, and then we're gonna line up this column here to perfectly match this angle so we have the perfect footprint of the cable stack. All right guys, so bottom piece is in place. Everything is nicely spaced apart. The back plates here are flush with the back columns. So everything's at the perfect angle. It's tight, but it's not too tight. Now we're gonna do the top, make sure everything's at a perfect angle. All right guys, so now just a friendly reminder, while these are a bit snug here and here, they're not fully tightened, because we still get the pull-up bar on, so it just kind of requires a bit of like shifting around to get everything perfect. So make sure these are going to be tight, but they're not cranked super tight to get the pull-up bar on. If you run into any problems getting the pull-up bar on, just remember to loosen these up even a bit more and everything will kind of get in place for you to actually attach the pull-up bar. And we're gonna do that one next. Now we're gonna do the pull-up bar here. We want these handles here facing upwards when it's up top. So we're obviously gonna unscrew the hardware and get this in place next. So I'm gonna hold this up and then Cooper's gonna lock one screw on either side to get this in position. Good. All right guys, so we got our pull-up bar in place. Everything's sorted. Now we're just gonna go through and tighten these, not all the way, but tighten these sections here as well as the pull-up bar. Make sure it's all solid, and then next we're gonna get onto the actual stacks or the actual plates for the cable stack. All right guys, and for the next step, we're gonna put it on these side panels here. Note the curved edge goes on the top, flat edge goes on the bottom. They just kind of snap in. The bolts are already unscrewed in place, so You just kind of gotta flex it a bit in to get it fitted right. These are a really tight fit. If you're having troubles kind of getting one of the screws in or getting things lined up, don't be afraid to take one of the screws out, push it in place, then screw it back in to get that perfect fit. As for the next one, we're getting the actual weights on. I'm gonna take 2 of these cylinders, 2 of these large washers, and then 2 of these rubber stoppers. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna line it up. And we're just gonna send them down gently. And then the rubber stopper with the rounded edge facing up last. Just like that. And then next we're gonna proceed to put the actual weight stacks on, which we'll need a partner for. All right guys, so you have these plates here. Different sets come with different amounts of the stacks, so just make sure you split up even. For sure, count it before you start putting them on. So we have these pieces of hardware in. Now we wanna get these weight stacks in. This set has 30 plates total, so we're going 15 aside. And it's as simple as putting them in and lift your hands up top. Yeah, let it go down. And then we're just going one at a time till the stack's done. And then guys, lastly, this top piece goes on top of the entire stack. Perfect. And then the next thing we're gonna do is just bolt these into these sections over here. All right guys, so this one's off, so we're just gonna put this first one in place. And then we're just gonna do things very loose right now, just to hold it. The next for me is stringing the cable to the rack. This looks like the most complicated part. It's really not that bad. So now that we're all the way through, we come to this point, we want to loosen all these as much as possible without taking them out. Then we get the cable and we push it in as far up as it'll go. And then after it's all the way to the top, or as the max to the top it can go. So we just tighten these as much as possible onto the cable, like you're squishing the cable. You'll notice I'm still applying pressure upwards here. All right, and when you're stringing the cable, these little guards here, you want to make sure the cable makes it underneath all of these little guards of the pulleys. The guards are here so the cable doesn't pop off. So up top there, they're everywhere. So you want to make sure they always go underneath. All right guys, so now that we're done to build the cable stack, we are ready to go. What I like to do and what you should be doing always is go ahead and tighten all of the hardware that you're working on today. Just make sure everything's tight, solid. If you guys have any questions, you can reach us at our toll-free 1-800 number or support@betterbodyequip.com. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rack.